The Smurfs have become one of those properties that seems like it'll always be around, as there's a lot you can do with those little blue people 3 apples high. I admit to having a fondness for Peyo's creations, and so I'll always be curious about the newest movie. This one, simply titled Smurfs, is directed by Chris Miller, the Shrek 3rd Puss in Boots director, not the Lego Movie director. Paramount seems confident this could launch a new franchise, but what did I think of the movie itself? Personally, I did not think it worked at all, and largely felt like a bunch of noise. The film attempts to throw them into this big adventure, which is fine, but the story they came up with fell very short for me. The principal focus is on a Smurf of no name, who they literally call No Name Smurf. The idea of a Smurf still trying to figure out what role he plays in the village has potential, but nothing about his personality jumped out as interesting to me. He's voiced by James Corden, who's someone I don't have the same strong feelings other people do. I think he's been good in some things and not so good in other things. However, all I could picture was Corden in the recording booth, and he did not do anything to elevate his character. Smurfette is also prominent here, with Rihanna providing her voice, although you could have gotten anyone for this role, as she brings nothing to the table. While John Goodman is okay as Papa Smurf, none of the other vocal performances stood out to me. Meanwhile, I found Gargamel really annoying in this movie, although he mostly plays second fiddle to his brother, who I did not find a particularly interesting villain. Throughout the movie, the Smurfs go through portals that take them to our world, with them interacting with a live-action environment. However, I did not see the point of this, and the story could have easily been set entirely in the Smurfs' medieval world. The Smurfs don't even talk to the live-action actors, who mostly reside as background extras. There's even a scene where they end up in a nightclub where Rihanna's song is playing, because of course it is. Home also had an animated character voiced by Rihanna listen to a song performed by Rihanna. So is this just a requirement whenever she signs on to do a voice role? Regarding the animation, I see what they were trying to do here by having it try to emulate the look of Peyo's comics. However, I thought the characters looked flat and did not entirely gel with the environments. A lot of the jokes did not land with me, as it had a heavy reliance on modern references. Maybe it's just me, but hearing someone mention LinkedIn in a Smurfs movie just sounds strange. The adult humor they included also rubbed me the wrong way, implying that a Smurf used the F word not only feels like low-hanging fruit, but also ill-fitting for a series like this. I know I'm criticizing a lot about this movie, but there were a few elements I liked. There are times when the Smurfs given thought bubbles, which I thought was a nice homage to the comics. There were a few amusing lines here and there, mostly in the beginning, when we're shown a lot of Smurfs at the village. Easily the best scene in the movie is one where the Smurfs and Gargamel's brother go through a multi-dimensional portal and end up in a bunch of different animated worlds. That was a really creative sequence, and I wish the rest of the movie captured that same cleverness. There are these furry little creatures the Smurfs come across, which felt like they jumped out of an 80s animated film, although I felt Natasha Lyonne was the wrong fit for the voice of the leader. However, even with those little sparks, I found this Smurfs movie mostly just were a bunch of images on the screen, and did not capture what makes the Smurfs so compelling. The brightest spot is not even the movie itself, but instead the short that played before it. Paramount has attached a SpongeBob SquarePants short titled Order Up, which I found amusing. It's the classic scenario of SpongeBob annoying Squidward. Instead of words, they just make little grunts and other sounds. Easiest paycheck of Tom Kenny and Roger Burns' career. Squidward gets especially demented here, which I found funny. Curiously, I noticed the copyright date on this short was 2015, and it turns out Paramount and Nickelodeon have indeed just been letting it sit in a vault for 10 years. I have no idea why they did that, but it's sad I got far more enjoyment out of the short than I did the main feature. Smurfs just ends up feeling like a distraction that tries to throw a lot at the viewer, but lacks a lot of imagination and creativity, outside a few moments here and there. Like I said at the beginning of the review, I do like the Smurfs, and think there's more to them than just comic book and 80s pop culture icons. However, I think this is one of the lesser takes on the characters, and a disappointing contribution to the Smurfs' legacy.